What's up, Z Freaks? On the menu today, I have 5 things that I would like to see added to Zenonzard in the future. So stay tuned and I'll have that coming right up for you. Alright, Z Freaks, what's happening? It's good to see everybody again, and thank you for joining me in today's video. I hope everyone's been enjoying this update as much as I am. It's been pretty nice. Enjoying all the new Battle Spirits cards and whatnot. And shout out to my viewers that hit the bell icon. I see you and I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. If you're not part of the notification gang, then what are you even doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that mother bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos. And also, if you'd like to support my channel, I have something in the description to where you can go ahead and support me there. And any donation will go towards improving my channel, I promise. I will not buy any Z-Stones, so you don't have to worry about that. So in today's video, I'll be discussing 5 features I like to see added to Zenonzard in the future. Not necessarily anything about the cards or the meta or anything like that. I actually am enjoying the meta despite it being dominated by the Battle Spirits deck. But this one is just about the game itself as far as you know, stuff to do, features and stuff like that. But before I get into this, I'm calling out all the other Zenonzard content creators. Talking about Ibo Academy, Cross, Coombs Gaming, and anyone else that's making content for this game. So if you make content for Zenonzard on YouTube or anywhere really, I want to see 5 things that you would like to see added to the game or changed about the game as well. うまくいけばピナパボノボノ掛島のような日本の YouTuber が私のビデオを見てこの挑戦も受けてくれることを願っています。Well, I hope I said that right. I don't speak Japanese, but I try my best. So anyway, let's go ahead and get onto the 5 things that I'd like to see added to Zenonzard in the future. Number 5. Number 5 is going to be taking advantage of the friends list. So as of right now, as far as I know, there's no reason to have friends in Zenonzard. My friends list could be entirely empty and it would make no difference from it being entirely full as of right now at this point in the game. Now there's definitely room to make having friends worth it in Zenonzard. Most gacha games have a friend point system, or they let you use friends to complete levels. So how about once a day you can send all of your friends 1 beholder coin, and for doing so you get 1 coin back. So if you've got 50 friends, then you get 50 beholder coins a day. And you know, that's just an idea I'm throwing out there. They can also make some kind of new friend currency for us to collect or use or whatever they deem necessary. They just need to take advantage of the friends list feature because right now it just doesn't seem there for there to be a point to have it. Another way that we can use the friends is letting us use a number of our friends once per day in non-ranked auto battles. Now this is a great way to give us more auto battles besides the 4 buddy hearts that you get per day. And this will get people wanting to beef up their code man, so people will want to add them on their friends list. And you will receive friend currency if one of your friends use your code man. So you'd always make sure that your code man would be on top of the game to help your fellow Concords. So with that out of the way, let's move on to number 4. Number 4. Now number 4 is Spectator Mode. Now that we're having tournaments, you know, like being held by PPG and other people in the online community, a Spectator Mode would be amazing. Now I don't think I need to get into too much detail here, but being able to see a tournament level game from your phone would get way more people interested in competing for this game, and even those who prefer to spectate will have a great way to be a part of the community. You know, there are people that do like to spectate rather than compete, so who knows what will come from having a spectator mode in this game. That's always the first thing you want to see in a game when it comes to esports is a spectator mode, so definitely want to be able to add a spectator mode to Zenonzard in the future. Now let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Now, number 3 isn't necessarily something I want added, but it is something I think is worth looking into or tweaking in the future, and that's going to have to be the Affinity Spirit Cap. Now, if you didn't know, the way your AI learns in this game is by raising the affinity of the cards. So as you can see here, a card that I use a lot, like Damba Shen, I've got the max affinity, and when you max an affinity with the card, I believe you gained 50 spirit. Compared to a card I don't use a lot, like Bomb Ball, the affinity is kind of low. So my AI would use Damba Shen better than they would use a card like Bomb Ball. But anyway, that's something we can learn in another video. To stay on topic, this Spirit Affinity Cap is something I would like looked at. Now why? Because you know, whenever you max your affinity with a card, you gain 50 spirit, and that's pretty cool. And this would definitely give you an incentive to use every card in the game, right? Even the terrible ones that don't have a use in any deck, kind of like this emergency mining order. You'll probably never use this card, but if you max your affinity with it, then you get 50 spirit, right? Well, unfortunately, no, you will not. There's a cap on the amount of spirit that you can gain using this method. Now the cap is only 200 cards, which is okay, but the game has 500 plus cards right now. And another problem is that the cap on this affinity bonus is account wide and does not split up between your code man. So during my first code man, I probably had 195 cards max. So when I got another code man, I was thinking, you know, we'll go back on that code man and to be able to gain more spirit, but it's actually bound to your account. So once I gained affinity with 5 more cards on my other code man, that was it. Now you can only get 10,000 spirit per account with max affinity using this method or whatever, and that's cool and all, since you're going to be raising affinity with cards just by playing the game anyway, since you know you get affinity by using cards and by playing against them, which means it doesn't really require any effort. So it's just 10,000 spirit that you get for free. But it doesn't make sense that the game is almost a year old and you can only craft 3 legends with this method. And I hope I don't sound greedy by talking about this, but I just think that this is kind of more of a short-sighted issue. Like, you know, think about it, like what's gonna happen when we have 1,000 cards? You know, are you only gonna get an affinity bonus with 200 of them still? You know what I'm saying? So I guess to conclude with this, I will say I hope that by the time that the new formats like draft and sealed come out, like they say we would get in the summer update, that they will change this affinity cap, because with the draft format we'll definitely be using cards that we will not use in other formats, and it would be nice to be rewarded for that too. I can see a couple cards here that I would never put in my deck for ranked, but if I pull it out of a draft pack, I would definitely use it, and I would like to get some spirit for raising my affinity that way. So that's just one thing that I hope that they change in the future. Alright, now let's go on to number 2. Number 2. PB up. Now, number 2 for me is gonna have to be this here. When transferring your data to a different platform, your Z-Stones will not transfer over. It is recommended that you use your remaining Z-Stone before performing a data transfer. Now, this is kind of nonsensical to me. I don't know what Bandai is trying to do with this, but it is kind of weird to me. Like, this won't prevent people from hacking your account, and if your account does get hacked, then you have a lot more to worry about than your lost Z-Stones, honestly. All this really does, in my eyes, is prevent me and others from playing the game how we please. You know, I have a feeling that this has to do with emulators, as I know emulators are a very popular way for people to play mobile games nowadays. I use an emulator myself sometimes, and Bandai does not support emulators, so if something happens to you while you're using an emulator, then you're just out of luck, honestly. But ever since I've decided to actually support the game, I haven't been able to transfer my account back to my emulator, meaning even though I spent my hard-earned money to support another Bandai game, I'm punishing myself by not being able to play on my emulator. You know, it's 2020 and people like to use emulators and they like to swap between devices, and we shouldn't be punished for doing so. So this is just my opinion. I don't think that this will ever change, but if it does, then it'll make gameplay a lot easier for me and others who wish to support the game by buying Z-Stones, but still wish to transfer their game from device to device. So this is just something I hope will get looked into in the future, maybe. Alright, now let's go on to number 1. Goemu Shokan. Number 1. So number 2 actually was going to be number 1, but then this happened and I pushed number 1 back to number 2, and I'm going to make this one number 1. And number 1 is going to be getting a team for global issues. So things like card translations, you know, when we were having spoilers for Forbidden, they were all Japanese, and we got the English cards in the database just randomly with no heads up or anything like that. Reporting issues in a timely manner. You know, the other day we had the server issues where it was hard to log on, we couldn't complete games and we kept disconnecting, and you know, that was kind of handled kind of poorly. And we just need someone that can communicate with the global players as a priority and not as an afterthought as it feels sometimes, you know. So like that situation I was talking about earlier, we had a 10-hour response time for that, and we got no compensation for the servers having errors, and that just doesn't make the global community feel like a priority. So hopefully in the future they can come up with some kind of plan or some kind of team or something, and we'll be able to have people work on stuff, you know. I'm sorry, I was watching this game go on. It was really interesting. But you know, I know how it is. You know, Bandai is located in Japan, and they have other stuff too, and they're a company and they gotta make money. And I know they don't have unlimited resources like that, but having someone assigned to handle things globally would really help build the relations between the players and the company as well. So yeah, that's just what I would like to see in the future. So just someone to treat the global players like a priority, like I said. What are they doing? Oh man. So anyway, yep, that's it. Those are the 5 things that I would like to see change about Zenonzard in the future. Hopefully I didn't come off as too complaining or whiny in this video. Just some improvements that I think would be a nice addition to the game. So thank you everyone that watched this video, and I hope to see everyone in the next one. Later, Z Freaks.